still says Pokemon Red from yesterday. Give me a second. Okay. Hopefully that's all changed. Hello everyone. I am, as you can see, I am playing Formula 1 today. Where's that audio coming from? I might actually have... I'm closing all of my Twitch things because one of them might be open, one of them might be relaying audio. Actually, I might turn this music down as well a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to start with some apologies. Apologies for yesterday. I've reviewed the VOD. My voice is really hard to hear, and I thought that was really weird because I've got an actual microphone. It's not a very high quality microphone, but it's a microphone. Turns out I had the wrong audio input. It was not the microphone that was receiving the audio, it was my computer's internal microphone, which is obviously not as good. So I'm still going to be trying to put captions onto the VOD when I release it to YouTube, but that just makes it much harder. Obviously, I kind of remember what I talked about, but that just makes it much harder. It should be better now, I hope. And obviously this music's not going to stay the entire time. I'm also not entirely sure what I'm going to do with music with streams. Obviously I want non-copyright music, but I don't know if music fits Formula 1. Anyway, also I'm going to apologize in advance because you probably can at some point hear my chair squeaking, because I've got a little cockpit set up. I've got like an actual racing sim set up, but yeah, because the microphone, there also might be some static as well, because the microphone, you could probably hear my pedals and my seat, and also my shifts and the wheel. So yeah, how's everyone doing? What I'm doing today is I'm doing comprehensive career mode, which I kind of explained yesterday, but then also you probably didn't hear anything. So what I am doing is I'm doing all the career mode, instead of doing like a normal career mode where I'm doing like 3 seasons in one game, I am doing a comprehensive career mode where I do 1 season per game. I try to get the everything as accurate as possible to real life, such as the difficulty, etc. Obviously that's easier when you've got 110 different difficulties instead of 6, which is in this game, and I think in F1 2016 as well. So I'm just going to be putting it on the top because hopefully that's close enough to the realistic times. Because that's the thing, when I get to F1 2018, 19, 20, I'm just fine-tuning throughout practice sessions to see how close I can get to the real-life times. If I'm faster than the real-life times, which I really doubt, but if that's true, then I'm not turning the difficulty up because that's not realistic. So yeah, this is F1 2015, but 2015 has a 2014 mode, as you can see from these three cars. They're all 2014 cars. I don't know why it has that. Maybe it's because F1 2015 is the first game on that generation of consoles, but then they just put 2014 in because some people might not have had PS3s, Xbox 360s or something like that. I don't know. But that's where we're starting. I'm starting with pre-season testing. As I said yesterday, I've already done one test, which is 28 hours of driving, but I can't be bothered to redo that on stream, so you're just going to have to deal with one test, which should be more than enough, because again, that's 28 hours of testing, which is more than they get in real life at the moment. I'm going to be hopping in a Williams. This game doesn't allow you to create your own driver, so you have to pick an existing driver. I'm going to be driving as Felipe Massa because the headcanon of what I'm doing is I'm a rookie that's coming in 2014. 2013 was Felipe Massa's last year at Ferrari, and he just couldn't find a seat. And, Williams is a okay place to put a rookie, I guess. Like, obviously, you wouldn't know how fast they are when you sign in 2013. So it's like, it's not like Mercedes. Mercedes was second in 2013, so you wouldn't put a rookie in there. I say that they put Antonelli in there. You wouldn't put a rookie in there for 2014. But Williams was like third from last. They only beat Caterham Manor, I believe, in 2013. Anyway, so I'm thinking that's a pretty good place to put a rookie in, and they just happen to be faster, and that's not something I'm supposed to know about. I'm also not supposed to know about things that actually really happened, and I don't know how I'm going to do with real life events like Spain 2016 or something like that. But yeah, my goal is, because I'm cosplaying, I guess, as a Mercedes junior driver, which is why I'm in a Williams, is to get to the Mercedes. And obviously, I'm doing that realistically. So that will be probably, unless I can beat one of the Mercedes and get their seat for 2015 or 2016, that's probably going to be, if I can beat Valtteri Bottas by the end of 2016, if I can show that I'm a better driver, I can get that seat for 2017. Yeah. So the way I'm doing this is Bahrain, because that's where the pre-season testing was. Yeah, you can see how far down Williams was in Marussia Caterham. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing practice sessions. I'm not doing races, I'm not doing qualifyings, none of that. AI driver level is legend. I will have flashbacks on, and no, I won't for pre-season testing. But here's the thing about flashback. I'm going to have them on for not if I crash or anything, but if the FIA, the stewards in the game, make an incorrect decision. And incorrect in the way that that's not what would happen in real life, as opposed to incorrect as in I disagree with it. Such as a track limits thing or a crash, because then we can go back, we can review it. Also, I'm doing a spreadsheet for all of this, so what the game says is champion isn't final. What my spreadsheet says, I can account for an extra time penalty that we decide to add on for myself or someone else, something like that, which I think is what I think that's a good idea. Park firme is obviously on, damage is full, corner cutting is normal because from my belief, corner cutting was kind of relaxed until 2022 when they started to ramp up on, it's not corner cutting, it's track limits, but you know, they're bundled into one in this game. Assists are on none. No assists. It's manual selected gear, but you know, I can just turn that to manual. It's not going to change a thing. Race settings we've been in. Yeah. Dynamic weather. I could just go to what realistic weather is, and it's just going to be dry. Dynamic weather. I could get rain, which I have actually done before. Which is really strange. Rain, like obviously it does happen. I've never seen it. You know, it's so strange.
Welcome to the deserts of Bahrain, where the Formula One circus has rolled into town. We're expecting the cars to appear out on track shortly to start today's practice session.
3 hours. So I'd like to have a timer up, but I just don't know for the moment. So that's also something I'll be going for in the next week, along with profile picture and a PNG and maybe even a stream overlay. But profile picture is the top priority, and then it's the PNG. What do I want to do? Let's go to setup. Let's experiment with the setup, because I do have a setup from this Bahrain Williams 2014. That's my setup that I've made from the first bit of testing. 2-3 wings, 75, 75. This for suspension geometry, this for suspension, this for tyres, this for weight distribution, this for fuel liking change. In fact, I'm probably going to do a 15 lap stint to start. And that 15 lap stint is going to be on the primes. Because remember, 2014, 2-tyre compound.
Okay, let's update the setup.
Just quickly, what this is going to look like. I've got some on-screen display purely for the viewer. I would prefer to play with no on-screen display, because that's just what I do realistically. But it's just a lot more difficult with this old game, because it's so old. All that I have that's compatible is the Logitech, you know, the basic Logitech steering wheel. I have a Thrustmaster F1000 right next to me, but it doesn't connect to the game, so I can't get any information off of that or anything. Also, the race engine is really finicky in this game, and I'm just allowing it to tell me the information that the race engine is, which then I'm then considering if I'm going to be moving that for 2016, because there's the radio ban in 2016, but that's what I'm going to think about that when I get to that. Let's get it out on track.
Don't push the car just yet. The track is still green. Try and take it easy for the first couple of laps.
Jeff. Whoever the race engineer is. Hi. So I've been doing some this hasn't updated. There you. Alright. Hopefully that updates. I hope that updates because I've got obviously a copy of the stream so I can see what the stream sees. But obviously also it's laggy. Let me refresh this. And my computer's gone to a black screen, which is weird because it's connected to power. I apologize for these technical issues. My OBS is showing the pause menu. It was originally just showing the what do you call it? It was originally just showing the setup menu. So I don't. Why is this not turning back on? I guess I should maybe trust the OBS. If I go onto my streaming PC, I don't have too much open on it. Oh, it's turned back on. I don't have too much open on it because oh, but it is showing the thing. Yeah, I don't want to have too much open just for the fact that it might make the stream go slower or something like that. But I'm going to have to because it's turning back on, but it's taking its time. So let's get back out. Why is it stuck on the pause? OBS isn't PS Remote Play isn't. Oh, my stream. Oh. Okay, I was worried for a second. The stream that I had open was paused, which what? No, should I have it paused? Oh yeah, if I can have this second computer on, and if that's hotspotted and all that's doing is, if it's hotspotted and all that's doing is keeping track of the stream. Yeah. I'm just going to reopen OBS so I'm not looking at the paused Twitch and worrying myself again. And that's case replay, that's
situation at the moment. We have 20 kilos remaining. That's 20 kilos. Valtteri's currently in P2. Faster than you. Keep pushing. There are 15 kilos of fuel remaining. softer braking. Your brakes are overheating. If you keep this up, it could become a problem. Changing your brake balance forward might reduce your rear lockups.
Is this gonna continue to be a problem? My OBS is frozen. So maybe PS Remote Play was not the best idea. Who could have thought? I'm just going to open, because if you remember my second one that restarted itself, I'm just going to open Twitch on that. Which it's coming up. And yeah, it's black. Why did things come up for a second and now they've gone? there we go. I don't know what's happening with this. I'm going to need to keep a good eye on this. Because if it keeps freezing, that's going to be really annoying. Okay, so now hope. Oh, you just saw my mouse. Oh. Poor internet is a problem apparently, according to PS Remote Play. So I'm gonna keep PS Remote Play up instead of OBS, because OBS, my Twitch will show me anything OBS shows and probably more, because there's a problem with Twitch as well. But yeah, thing is, I can't hotspot as Australia Wi-Fi. I can't hotspot my PS Remote Play because it needs to be on the same network as the PlayStation itself, which I could hotspot both of them, but not tonight. Yeah, this is a problem of it being remote.
Looks like we've just hit the 15 kilo mark in terms of fuel. 15 kilos of fuel remain. We need to push now. Feburary is 3/10 faster.
Well, I mean, it's Australian internet. I can't really do a whole lot. I guess I just really need to get a capture card as soon as possible. But that's gonna take a couple of weeks, which will be a couple of these streams doing, that's gonna be a couple of these not as good as they could be streams, which would be unfortunate for you.
Febury's P3 right now.
I've lost connection. It was that bad, I lost connection. Okay then. PlayStation says it's reconnected. Black screen. Oh, it's disconnected again. Huh. Do I hotspot the PlayStation? Settings, network. It's a wide LAN, but the thing is, I can't wire in the laptop. Because if I do a test for the PlayStation, I don't think it's actually the PlayStation that's the issue. I think it's the remote play and the person and the thing receiving the remote play. No, connection is not strong enough. We recommend more than 5 megabits per second of download and upload speed. Well, surely it's more than that. Because I am streaming. That thing you're getting, the image you're getting, is not current because obviously you get the audio as well, and the audio is current. There we go. There we go. Is there any way I can lower any quality to make it run better? Because that's the thing that I'm thinking. Um, I'm sorry for this. Like this, you know, I guess streaming's a process, and you've got troubleshooting and all of that stuff. Um, like, I'm gonna keep streaming. I'm gonna keep trying with OBS and with remote play. Oh, but here's the thing. I can technically stream directly from the PlayStation to Twitch. Right? Because I've got... Oh, it's for... No, it wouldn't come up, I don't think. I can broadcast in Twitch. No, it's disconnected again. What if I tried broadcasting directly to Twitch from the PlayStation? My objection to that has always been I don't get all the OBS stuff, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be doing the OBS stuff anyway because I don't have a stream overview. I don't have a stream. Yeah, overlay. I don't have a PNG, so that's not the problem. So you're just gonna have to bear with me for a second. Rise. Okay, PlayStation is connected to Twitch. Now I'm gonna be copying the title from the stream that's already up. Okay. So I'm just going to be calling it that for the moment. Hopefully this works. Like, obviously it's still going on. Yeah, another device is broadcasting, so I'm gonna have to stop streaming on the computer on OBS, so give me a second.
All clear the garage, please. Car ready to leave.
I hope that there wasn't a problem there. I'm sorry if it's 3 minutes in and this is the first time in this stream, because obviously I just stopped the last one. My mic might have been muted. But you know, that's okay. That's all good, because I found it first. So what I was saying is, enjoy the nice crisp audio, and I was turning down the volume and turn it down a little bit more because it was a bit loud. Turning down the volume because I was saying, the thing about not having OBS is I can't control individual audio inputs anymore, which is a little bit frustrating, but we have to win some and lose some, right? Like, do we want a little bit more control, or do we want...
Valtteri is only 3/10 faster than you.
Only 3, that's crazy. Do we want a little bit more control, or do we want, like, stream game input that actually works? And as I was saying, my PlayStation is wired for internet, so we shouldn't have any stream problems. Of course, that track with that
Fuel level is now 15 kilos. There are 15 kilos of fuel remaining. Valtteri's P3 right now.
I still can't believe... Oh, yeah. I still can't believe Valtteri's... P3. P3, I guess, is an okay position. But there was some uncertainty in the rear. Felt like a front lockout. Still some uncertainty in the rear. Slipstream with the DRS open. The problem about this is I'm going to get blocked. Apparently not. Worry about position there. Yeah, now I'm down. Sector 3 is down. sector 2, and then the whole lap is down 5 tenths. 1 and 2 well off the pace. 1 was almost 2 tenths up. Yeah. No, that's not good. This is a really unstable setup. So, am I going to change it? Yeah, I'm going to be changing it. But what are we changing it to?
The brakes are too cold. You need to get some heat into them. Brake hard going into the neck.
Also, I did just see a message in chat which looks to be a bot, which is unfortunate. I've just banned them. It was either a bot or, just a person, but they were advertising the best streamers on some other site and it looked sketch, so I banned them. Yeah, it's back to the setup. What I really want to do with the setup. I'm unsteady on the rear, so what would fix that? More rear downforce. It's also a low downforce circuit. So anyway, I can fix that without adding some more rear downforce, I guess. It's helpful.
Information for you on the fuel. Our level is now at 10 kilograms. That's 10 kilograms of fuel.
I'm aware. So far, these 10 minutes of stream seem to be going much better than the first 40. My God. I've been streaming for an hour, and how much of F1 have I gotten through? $30 minutes. So maybe the stream goes 30 minutes later than I had initially planned, which would be unfortunate. It'd be unfortunate, but I don't have anything on tomorrow that I need to be up for, because again, I am streaming at 10. It is now currently 10:30 p.m. In my time zone. Downforce, differential. Do I want to add some more? I'm gonna move the rears up to 7. Give that a try. I hope that does the trick.
Engine fired. We're set.
Oh, I still haven't looked at what time Valtteri Bottas set. Also, yeah, again, it does say Felipe Massa. Ignore that. It should say Jakarta. Oh, I think I missed just banging the team number. What? What was that? Like, obviously, Valtteri was coming in. I thought they'd keep me. Sorry. One of the Mercedes.
You're off the pacing sectors, 1 and 2.
Oh, that means Hamilton's ahead. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's try to keep on Rosberg, get the DRS. Get the DRS, get the slipstream. Because this doesn't feel like a fast lap on Rosberg. Because if it was, I would be falling back. That was some severe wheel spin. Maybe I should be on the accelerator. I actually probably prefer he went into the pits because then that gives me nothing to worry about into turn 1. So yeah, does anyone have, does anyone have any suggestions for capture cards? I'm probably just going to look up capture cards from JB Hi-Fi. Because they've probably got some. No, that's still that rear end. Do I have dirty air? I can't really tell if there's dirty air or not. At least I haven't actually crashed those both streams. So that's a positive. Having said that, I'm probably going to crash now. This feels like a cool lap. Still could be better. Obviously, it's 2. Still could be better, but it feels like a pretty good lap. I think turn 10 is main area now for me to improve.
Valtteri's P3 right now. You've moved
Now
up
P4.
into P4.
So if I get 5/10 improved, I'd be
Looks
happy.
like we've just hit the 15 kilo mark in terms of fuel.
But remember, I am probably fueled more than everyone else. And I've also got some warm tyres. Maybe warm more than everyone else, I'm not entirely sure. Rosberg's not have a fun time that day, and it's really bad at getting through that traffic. So it's not a fun time getting through these guys. And I know it's not actually that much traffic, but it looks like it's a lot of traffic. Yeah, I'm going far. I'm going to prevent that slide, hopefully.
We shouldn't see any rain, but if a storm front does appear, then I'll let you know.
If you don't see any rain, I'll just storm front here. It's like, it's forecast to be a sunny day, but if a cyclone turns up, we'll keep you in contact, but it's so weird. supposed to do with that corner. Yeah.
Sectors 1 and 2.
So that's 2 tenths in sector 3. I understand that, but it looked like a torpedo, that felt like a torpedo. I don't think it was. Oh. Yeah, as I've said, they're not good. Get out of the way, Kobayashi. They're not good. And getting through that traffic. Because they don't like to go off the racing line, whereas I'm okay with doing that, I guess. That was awful. I am sticking with Rosberg though, even if it is because of traffic. If I could do that last corner again, really good.
You need to find another 2 tenths to be above Valtteri.
2 tenths. Not bad.
Sector 3 are a little down, 1 and 2 are well off the pace.
Oh, it's going to be the same problem up to burn with that corner. With a faster car than the Torosso, this shouldn't be a problem. Also, I just looked at the corner there because I knew Vern was there and I didn't want to crash. Crashing it is not good. Surprisingly, I don't know. Maybe that's more to me now. No. The camera things. Now I'm barely down on sector 2.
Your times through all sectors are off the pace, particularly in sectors 2 and 3.
I'd like to attribute that to worn tyres and, yeah, worn tyres. It is not the end of the world if I finish 2 tenths off of 4. I'm going in for fresh tyres. It's not the end of the world if it's I finish 2 tenths off of my teammate and it's Williams 3rd and 4th. Hey. Oh, sorry, reigning world champion Sebastian Vettel. That's compatible at Red Bull. Which again, yeah, it's just amazing when you play all the games. Sebastian Vettel, not retired for one. That's, yeah, sure. Not retired for one. At Red Bull, not even Aston Martin, not even Feburary. And you can see how much trouble he's having getting through on the track. And I'm beating the reigning world champion. I'm happy with that. I'm beating 6 6 championships. And at the moment, I'm only losing to one. Because Lewis Hamilton hasn't won the other fields. I'm doing better than you would think. And in a Williams, I'd take 4th, because obviously you look at Williams now. Carlos Sainz is not challenging for a championship in the Williams. Not this year. I'm not discounting 2026 because no one really knows. There's a lot of talk about the Mercedes engine, but no one really knows. Also, I love how it was giving me little kilometers per hour while I was going backwards. That was very funny. Ugh, now I'm tired. Why am I tired? I should be not tired until 1. My sleep schedule is a mess.
There's a lot of teams out on track.
Oh,
Track is looking congested.
What tyre is Magnussen on? Magnussen's popped up on options. I'm probably going to do 15 minutes new tyre, but still prime. And then I'm going to pop on options for the last half hour. Yeah. And I'm going to have a lower... Yeah, 8 kilograms. Sure.
We'll make the changes you requested. All personnel be aware.
Let's see if that's faster. If I beat Magnussen with tyres which are realistically maybe 2 seconds slower, that would be hilarious. And obviously they could have... I doubt they'd have fuel. As much fuel as I had. They probably didn't have 20 kilograms.
You're losing a lot of time in the final 2 sectors.
That's Marisha.
Okay, here's something
Bianchi.
to remember
Oh,
about this
Bianchi in
circuit.
2014.
Turns 9 and 10 are very tricky. Ignore 9 almost entirely. Stay in the middle and take it straight so that you're set up for 10. If it gives you problems, remember that it's all about exit speed out of 10. Don't try and carry too much momentum into the apex, as you'll just understeer off into the sand.
That's actually some pretty good advice. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I guess I have to cover Bianchi. Like after, what do you call it? Obviously, it's going to be Bianchi for the whole thing in game, but in my spreadsheet, I'm adding a new person in case that changes anything. It's unfortunate, but I have to do it.
Valtteri's P3 right now.
Maybe my sliding was losing rear grip
Times through all sectors are off the pace, particularly in sectors
on
2
the wheel.
and 3.
Because these tires feel much quicker. I say and then I slide. And I'm not even catching commercial by a good amount. I say and then I do. I mean, 14, that's pretty good for commercial. I'm here. Oh, they're on primes. What was that? Okay, let's review that. I give space I try to give as much space as possible. This should be the time of contact. That's a car's width. That's them. That's a car's width. What was that? Let's...
Say again, you're breaking up.
As you can see how finicky it is.
There's less tyre deg than we feared. They should last a while. Brake hard into the next couple of corners. The brakes are running too cold.
Let's try this again, shall we? No Marusha. Oh, that was too much on the curb. But yeah, no Marusha. I've got Raikkonen ahead of me, who I am faster than, but not by much.
Losing a lot of time in sector 2.
Yeah, because there was an incident.
We've only got about 5 kilos of fuel remaining now. That's 5 kilos of fuel.
Oh, that was a bit of a cut.
Okay, you need to come in before you run out of fuel. Pit within 2 laps.
If that was Raikkonen on options, then that's embarrassing.
Another 2/10 is all we need to be above Valtteri. Just 2/10.
Well, I just lost about a tenth there. Not a bad time. No, shouldn't be doing that. But apparently I can gain 3/10 on the last corner. Oh, that was 3/10 up. That's crazy. So this should put me ahead of Magnussen and ahead of Bottas. No, that was a bit wide, but sure. Yeah, that was good. Third.
P3.
Less than a
You've
second
moved up
pole.
into P3.
Rosberg. And then I go back to the pits and I put on my soft prime tires. Options. Bottas, I'm not putting on the tire. In fact, you're gonna give me one so it's faster to get back. Are you also on? Yeah, you're pulling away from me. You'd be on. Oh, maybe not. So say Bottas would be on options. Maybe not.
Valtteri sat in P4.
So we just don't. That was 1 second up. Like that's crazy. Yeah. No, he's just on primes. Maybe they're fresher primes. I'm also curious to see what the difference is between Bottas and I now. It was 2/10, and I think it gains at least half a second. Also, my goal is to look at Sergio. Sergio honestly looks better than Felipe. What's the difference between me and Bottas? 2.5 tenths. Yeah, so I just did what you were. I'm down. Oh, I'm down third sector by 16 milliseconds. No. Yeah, 16 milliseconds. Sorry. Rosberg is down half a second to Hamilton, and then I'm half a second to Rosberg. Damn. I know I said last half an hour, but let's do it anyway. And let's do a longish run. Let's do 10 laps.
Okay, let's update the setup. Standing by.
Oh, sorry. Again, I'm more tired than I normally be. Oh, I did some more exercise today than I normally would as well. Is that Bottas? Very Maldonado. I didn't want to get in your way, but I kind of stopped him. How much time? I didn't check how much time I'm listening to Hamilton, and if it's more-ish than the rest of
Our fuel level is now 15 kilos. There are 15 kilos of fuel remaining.
Let's do this 10 lap. This 10 lap stint, and then I'm going to do some poly stunts. Starting with this nice tyre, and then I'm going to move on to a new tyre. Ooh, that was close. And it doesn't invalidate there because it was too slow. Slipstream, no DRS. Fun. That was just going over that curve. That was going over that corner. That wasn't great.
Your times through all sectors are off the pace, particularly in sectors 2 and 3.
Yeah, because that's not loud. This should be not quite a second. Maybe 5 to 7 tenths faster than my PB. This should be in the 34s. I was a second down in sector 1. How? Small lift. Well, that's a 10th down. 10th. This is not going well. Like, I thought this would be faster. Obviously, by me saying this should be faster. Quick 3 down. It was a small lock, it's fine. Let's see if I can get a PB. Again, I think that was probably a bit too early. That was half a second faster than last time. It's Maldonado that was struggling to catch. Damn. That's not good. Maybe when I get DRS and mix 3, maybe that's gonna be improved. Like improved for the lifetime cockpit. I was only 2 tenths down there. And now I'm ahead of Maldonado. Oh, Rosberg lost his line.
Information for you on the fuel. Our level is now at 10 kilograms. That's 10 kilograms of fuel remaining.
Yeah, they'll tell me what I need to hit. I mean, I could check, but they'll tell me what I need to hit. Like, this is kind of shambles. Like, I know I am Q3 to the 2Mercedes on the hardest difficulty of the game, but this is kind of shambles because you can see how messy my laps are.
Love to be sat in P4.
I think the strat there is to just get the front right tire on that curve. I think that's what I'm going to do. And that's 7 tenths. Rosberg's still not the fastest lap. Oh, that's great. Rosberg. He just set a fastest lap kind of after I finished that. For disclosure, my plan was to sit behind Rosberg so I didn't overtake anyone and get slipstream, get the DRS. But clearly that's failed. Where's Rosberg? Oh my. There's Rosberg. Ooh. Let's review that, shall we? Alright, slide, try to keep it out of the wall, try to slave it, and eventually, like here, like trying to save it, keep it out of the wall, trying to save it from spinning, and then I almost get it, but then it's almost in the wall, so then I do that, and then I just decide to stop it, right? Flip firmly on the brake. Unfortunately, and if that Marusha wasn't there, it'd be fine. Unfortunately, there's Rosberg. Of how my hand goes up. Not that the 5-place grid penalty means anything.
Tyre wear rates are lower than we expected.
Oh, cool. I don't have any rockling damage, which is really good. Let's go. And DRS. 22 seconds. Obviously, that's going to impact Toto Wolff's perception of me, because at the end of the day, I'm wanting to be in his team. Without DRS, I think. So, something else wrong. I think if I don't get a green sector, I'm going to be pitting in this lap. First set of tyres, minimum fuel, and do it. And now it's up to me to gain 6 tenths this last corner. Maybe? Be close.
Factory sector times are well up on yours.
Oh, I did not see you there. Yeah. Let's go for a battle. A quick battle. A clean battle. Like, again, it is pre-season testing. It does not matter. If I interrupt someone else's lap or something like that, it's not cool. They don't care about impeding in free practice, let alone testing. But the fact that the Yankee's beating me is not a good sign. Yeah, you can hear how aggressive, how aggressive the vibrations are. be better if it was my teammate. Yeah, watch this guy.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
Not what I thought would happen. I really do have to admit that's not what I thought would happen at all. I thought I was going to get super close to Jensen. Not Jensen break. That's not what I thought would happen. What's wrong with the front wing? Apart from that, there is no front wing. And there's no flashback. So that's how I gained that half an hour back, I guess.
Practice times are not always indicative of qualifying or race day performance, but Nico Rosberg's P1 time is impressive, and I think he'll be right up there when he's back on the track tomorrow.
I passed laps on primes, everyone else went much faster on options. Like Bottas was 2.5 tenths down, and now they're 4 tenths up, so I could have gained 6 to 8 tenths. I could have gotten to 34s. I could have beaten Magnussen.
Welcome to the deserts of Bahrain, where the Formula One circus
this time I'm going to start with
We're expecting the cars to appear
options.
out on track shortly to start today's practice session.
I'm going to start with option tyres. I still can't believe that happened. Like that wasn't. it is kind of funny though. That wasn't what I was intending to do. Like I apologize to Jensen, to virtual Jensen.
We'll make the changes you requested. Let's get a few laps under our belt.
All I meant to do was get super close, because that's what I thought would happen. He was going to enter the pit lane, and then he was going to go at 80, and I was going to fly in, and I was going to be right behind. Maybe even nudge him. I did not think it was going to do that. On this outlap. Yeah, short tip, I guess, because I don't want to. With 5 laps of fuel, I don't want to lose too much. Well, this is going to be a qualifying lap, so I'm just going to get over it. This is going to be a qualifying lap, so it's going to be DRS, it's going to be mix 3, it's going to be going all out. And the track conditions are probably not even there for that, but yeah, just the unfortunate thing of what happened. I'm going to get my qualifying lap early, and then I'm going to do some long runs, and then see if I can improve my qualifying lap. you know, that counts as an hour and a half. So, not the best exit, but that counts as an hour and a half. So, we are an hour and a half into test 2, into day 1 of test 2. Still a bit slidey. Maybe the track will clean up a bit. Again, this is a decade-old game. Like it's not like it's gonna be good. Oh, it is a good game, but it's not like it's going to be as good as modern. So, you know, I haven't played a lot of F1 24, but I did play it when it released, and this is better than that. This is better than that. There's also not that second DRS zone on that second straight after turn 3, between turn 3 and 4. Oh, yeah, there.
Easy into the next few corners. We need to cool them.
Tires. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going off. Bottas is first. Maybe that's less aggressive than steering, I guess.
P1, you've just put in the quickest lap of the session so far.
Yeah, there we go, 34.1. So that's how.
Currently in P2.
That's more than a second. It sounds like someone should be that. More than a second faster than my fastest lap in the Williams 1-2. Honestly, it's crazy going back to the 90s. That's more than a second faster.
Of fuel in the tank, just 5 kilos of fuel remain.
So then I do another lap, hopefully a better lap, and get into the 33s. If I can get into the 33s, I'm going to be so happy, because I've only ever managed to get into the 33s, either as a Mercedes or with racing line. So if I can get 33s on stream, without racing line, in a Williams, I'm going to be very happy. Also, stream seems to be going well now. I don't know about problems with the audio. I don't think there are problems with the audio. I can actually check that, and you know what? Why don't I just check the audio? Oh, I was a little bit late because I need to plug my headphones in. So let me just start this. Oh, let me just unmute my copy stream first. Wait, I don't actually need to unpause it because I can just talk and see. Oh, audio mix, I guess. Yeah, unpause. But that's a lot louder than I thought it would be. It's a lot louder than my end. Does if I mute this volume, does that mute that volume? It does not. So all my changing of the sound on this is just for me. That's really irritating. So this second stream is just also sound problems. Third technically, but you know, the second stream of the day has sound problems, and the first stream had sound problems as well. Oh, it also had connectivity problems, but yeah. And then the first stream had sound problems. I think this is clearer though than I do think that this is clearer than yesterday's stream. Yeah, that's going to haunt me. The wrong microphone. Doing captions on that is going to not be good. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun, but it's going to be necessary for understanding it, really. But then I have to work without captions to make them. So that's a whole other thing. And then I have to do captions for 2.5 hours and blah, 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 all that stuff. So let's get back to this. And I'm still doing this. Like, it saves time. It doesn't save a lot of time. Small incremental gains build up. Kind of looks like Mercedes Williams was going to come out with Bottas, which would be funny if I'm blocking Bottas from going out after what happened last session. But there he goes. 2.5 seconds. 2.1 seconds faster. Than fifth. I'm just gonna go to as much fuel as I was, and I'm going to. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to just go out on a flying lap because I would have done that next lap being actual lap had it not been for the checking stream issues, which unfortunately there are. So maybe I move the microphone closer to myself, just barely. But maybe that makes me a bit louder. Alonso beat Hamilton. Wait, what? Alonso is in a tractor called Feburary. That's definitely going too slow at that apex. It's much too slow. Should be faster. Yeah. That's much too wide. Invalidation. We'll see how that sector went. That sector probably didn't go great. Yeah, you think if that's up 17 thousands, how much further up could I go for the cleanup? You know what, I'm doing this as a fast lap as well. That was too much too soon. Jack was adjusting the microphone so it doesn't fall out. And yeah, that's not. This is why I decided I went in the actual lap. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to Prime. Yeah, Primes. Do a long run with Prime.
This is the last kilo or so of fuel.
Cool, I don't know. Hello, Valtteri.
You need to get some heat into them. Brake hard going into the next couple of corners.
See, this is what I was talking about when I'd prefer a battle with Bottas rather than Marussia. Because it's much more even. A bit like jumped for a moment. Oh, it's back down now. Yeah. I'm also really sad because I started a follower goal for one follower. And obviously I could, get my friends over and say, hey, I've got a Twitch account, I'm streaming, give it a follow. But I don't really want to do that, and I also want to see how long it takes for them to find out when I start posting on other socials saying, hey, I'm going live. That might give them a hint, but I'm not doing that at the moment because, again, I've got no followers to notify. I think I'm going to do that once I get a stream overlay. Once I get everything set up, I'm going to start doing like stories or something saying, hey, going live. Yeah, I had 0% worn. Prime tires are a second slower than 9% worn options. That's.
Okay.
No, wait, come back. No, wrong button. Come back here. I want to add more fuel. I want to add more fuel. Oh wait, I can go. I'm doing one lap on Inters. I want to see how that feels. I know it's kind of a waste, but I don't know if any of you have seen Creator Series. They do a Inters Championship, Inters Pole, where if you get the fastest lap on intermediates in the first 3-4 minutes of qualifying, gets the point. So,
we think you should pit and change to dry tyres. Valtteri's starting to put in some good times.
I put in some good times with dry tyres. It's not like it's wet. What happens? Wait. What happened to that Mercedes? Because I didn't make any... Oh, it's a McLaren. Right. And that doesn't necessarily solve anything. Oh, it might be Magnussen, actually. I think that's Magnussen. Because I'm on the inside. They just go wide and leave the Torossa behind me. Still less wide than my actual fast lap. It is Magnussen. Accidentally had 2 rookies. What was that? That was just like what happened with Bianchi. So I go on the outside. I actually lift to let them through. Oh. Magnussen hit the back of Kvyat. Look at how much back end I lose just by putting on the DRS. Yeah. I'm boxing this lap. Box this lap, it's not, it's too dry. Which, you know, who would have thought it's Bahrain? That was the last time we had a wet race. I don't think it's ever rained during a race weekend at Bahrain. Or Saudi Arabia, or Qatar, or UAE. I don't think it's rained during the race weekend in the Middle East. Well, I lost.
Wing is in a really bad state. We need you back in the pits this lap.
Yeah, I can see. I lost the front wing, but I didn't DNF, and that was my main concern. I just didn't want to DNF. Now they can repair my front wing, give me some dry tyres, and yep, that's a really Ferrari strat. I believe they did that in UK last year. They put Charles on wrong wet dry tyres. They certainly did the opposite in Canada. I just hope they don't do that with Rosberg is 5th, why? Okay then. I just hope they don't do that with Hamilton, because I am a Lewis Hamilton fan and I would really rather they don't Ferrari their strategies. Let's do 15 laps.
Right, I'll get these changes made. When you're ready, let's go.
15 laps, and then we can come in and, I don't know, do some... What do you want? Do some option running, I guess. Yeah, this is probably going to take me to 12:15 my time, which isn't that bad. Obviously the DNF helps, which is not why I did it by any means. If I were going to obviously DNF or retire, I guess, because it's not a race, I'm obviously retire, I would do it in this second session, and like when it gets to 12, I'd retire. Instead of retiring pits or something like that, I just wouldn't go out. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Also, I do want to throttle trace. I do want like telemetry on here as well, but again, this game doesn't support it, and I can't do it when I'm streaming on PlayStation because I don't have the OBS overlays or that kind of thing. Which means even if I do get my PNG and overlay, I won't be able to put them on a career mode stream until I get the capture card, which kind of sucks. But it's not going to be first race. Like when I get to Australia, I'm going to have that capture card because 28 hours with 3-hour sessions should take about 9 sessions. Oh, that was one blow. It should take about 9 streams. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. 28 hours with 3-hour streams should take me around about 9 streams. And that's just pre-season testing. And then I get maybe 3 streams for, what do you call it? 3 streams per race weekend, because I'll have a Friday stream, a Saturday stream, and a Sunday stream, maybe. This all really depends on what happens with study. But, you know, we'll see how that goes in a couple of weeks when university starts. And that's too much race. Where is everyone on track? I haven't seen anyone. Yeah, that was an atrociously slow lap. That was also not that great. That was too much of a curb. And I think it's still sliding too much. What's making it slide? I could put some more rear downforce on, however, putting more rear downforce on a track with a second slower and place like that. Putting more rear downforce on in a track with this many straights is probably not a good idea. I mean, obviously, yes, DRS makes the rear downforce obsolete, but there's 2 straights without a DRS. There's that straight between turn 3 and turn 4, and then straight just before the last corner, which don't have DRS. Not at the moment. I don't know when DRS gets added specifically. My guess is like 2018-ish. But yeah, the DRS in this game is different to what it'd be in modern games. Which is good, which is bad. Depends on what position you are in the race. If you need DRS, if you're depending. Yeah, that's 4 seconds slow. I think you saw what I just saw. That my fuel was on fuel mix 1, which is the slowest. I mean, it's fuel conserving, but it's also the slowest. So that should make it faster. But I also was too focused on my MFD, on my wheel, just locked up down turn corner 1. I'm still fastest though. I'm not really surprised by that. No one's moved on to... Oh, on track? Yes. I'm not surprised by that. I mean, I am surprised by Alonso being 2nd and Rosberg being 5th. Like, I thought it'd be me, the 2 Mercedes, and Bottas. Right, which is just what happened last session, except just had put me from wherever I was with primes to top. Also, I still think this stream's just been shambles. Technical issues, and I've just not been. I'm not used to driving and talking. It's something that I'm gonna have to get used to, I guess. Oh, that was a real lock up. Something I'm gonna have to get used to. But I've just not been on my game on driving, and I've been actually driving not that bad though, which hopefully shows you where I am normally. Because you look at last session and I was 3rd with some pretty horrible laps, and my option laps wasn't actually that good. You could see there's room for improvement, and it's a 34.1. And I wasn't really expecting anything less. I was hoping for less, but I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. So hopefully that shows you on a good day where I can compete at. I can compete for hopefully podiums in. There goes that block. Hopefully I can compete for podiums in this career mode, which is be great because I am a rookie. So rookie getting a podium is great because at this point, last time a rookie got a podium was Lewis Hamilton. Because Kevin Magnussen hasn't done his first race yet. I still find it crazy. Kevin Magnussen got a podium on his first race and never again. And then Nico Hülkenberg, former teammate, never got a podium, almost got a podium a couple of times but crashed out. Or, almost got a podium a couple of times but crashed out. I'm thinking 2012 Brazil and 2018 Germany. 19 Germany, sorry, my bad. And he got a pole at Brazil 2010, his rookie season, and nothing else. Then Magnussen got a pole in 2022, 12 years after. Same track.
Just hit the 15 kilo mark in terms of fuel. 15
It's just crazy. And now Hülkenberg's at the absolute tractor factory of Sauber. And then Magnussen's off doing endurance racing at BMW, which I was going to say makes sense because he's German. He's not German, he's Danish. I was going to say Nordic, but he's not Nordic. Yeah, he's Danish. So I guess kind of German, but not German. So I can't believe Williams, like Franco Colapinto, go to Alpine just because it gives him a better shot of driving, which I think we all agree Jack Doohan. As much as, yes, he is an Australian, he is not lasting. He's got a 5-race contract and plenty of inventory breathing down his neck. Hopefully the more I commentate well, it's not really commentate, the more I talk and drive, the better I get at it. Because I'm just not on it.
Valtteri sat in P4.
So is anyone watching anything good at the moment? I understand that there's no one watching the stream, but I just kind of have to practice, I guess. And you know, someone might be watching the VOD and comment on the VOD. Yes, I'm watching a really good show, blah 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 blah. So yeah, is anyone watching anything good at the moment? I'm this is gonna sound crazy. Starting late January, so just under a month, I have been watching Five Nights at Freddy's. I've been watching through playthroughs of all of the games and then theories between the games in order of release. So obviously
too hot.
Too hot? Obviously, I wouldn't say obviously, my personal favourite theorist and comfort YouTuber, Matt Pat, one of my favourite YouTubers, I gravitate towards him, but then also there are other people who does FNAF content like Dorco, FNAF, and then ID's Fantasies, recent-ish, couple of recent years, which is good, Right Host, and etc, etc. Oh, that's... okay. There we go. Oh no, Maldonado, I hope you don't get slipstream. It might actually be quotation that I didn't read. But either way, yeah. And yeah, I'm up to watching a playthrough of I Wanted To, so I'm up to, you know, December 2023. I'm almost there, and then the only game I've got between now and and when I'm watching is once I finish I Wanted To is Enter the Pit, which again is a good game, but it's not canon. I don't think. I hope it's not canon. I hope it's not canon, because it being canon means time traveling forfeits are canon to the games, and that just opens up a whole can of worms, which I do not want to think about. But it's funny watching ruined predictions before the Mimic gets introduced in the Tales from the Pizzaplex book, and then it's like, you know, all of this machine learning stuff is Gregory learning, and I'm thinking, I want to rethink that, because maybe that was Scott's intention and Stuart's intention in making Security Breach, but clearly that intention's shifted. Which is the thing, how much of the story did they know going into Security Breach, going into Wanted? Because it does just look like they made the game with multiple ideas of where to take it, and then they refined it through the novels, and then they make the next game. Which I am kind of, like, I don't know what's happening with Burn Trap, because that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to remember the canon ending for Security Breach. I personally think is the Burn Trap ending, but the theories that I'm watching at the moment seem to think that it's the Free Vanny ending, but I don't think it's that, because I have access to information they don't at the moment, which is I Wanted To. Obviously, which has the ending where Vanny vanquishes Glitchtrap, and while it could be that Vanny is freed, kind of, but then still kind of under Glitchtrap's control after Security Breach, and then you have I Wanted To. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, so then I go with it's the Burn Trap ending, because that also does the that also does the damage to the Pizzaplex and the free Glitchtrap, free free Vanny ending with a Princess Crossbow doesn't have any of that damage to the pizza flags that you see in real. But then you also have Wise Freddy missing his head, and it does have a prototype on his foot, and I do think it's a different Freddy. I think it's a different Freddy than the one in Security Breach. And I honestly think it's crazy. Obviously, the theories were correct about Cassie's dad being Michael's friend in the bunny mask during the happiest day birthday, like the actual one, the minigame. But I just think it's it's crazy that you predict that, or maybe they predict that and then still was like, oh, that's a good idea, let's go with that. But that's not something I would have ever predicted. Like, you know, all of these people try to solve the movie before it releases, and I don't understand how you do that. Because yes, you do have past games you can think about, you have the books you can think about, and you have all of those not spin-offs, but you know, the guides, the journals, etc. Which you can include in your thinking. Also, Hamilton's second now, and Rosberg's third. But yeah, I just don't understand how you can do that. What I can do is theorize about the 2025 F1 season. Which, you know, prediction, just flat out prediction. I'm gonna do like a set of full predictions, but just flat out prediction. Title fights between McLaren and Ferrari. I don't think Mercedes is going to be in the fight, because if they understood, if they were going to understand these regulations, they would have by now, or they would have implemented it at the end of last year or something, if they were going to understand it for this car. And I don't think Red Bull's going to be in there, because Liam Lawson, he's had like 9 races. Sure, he's decent, but I just, Bottas is up there. I just don't think that Liam Lawson's going to be challenging, and I don't think Max is going to be challenging, because if you look at the end of last year, the only race that Red Bull won was Brazil, and that was half luck with red flag, half, you know, just luck with it being a wet race at a track that Max Verstappen is very historically good at with it being wet, right? Because you look at Brazil 2016. So I think they're still going to win a couple of races, but I think it's going to be kind of going back to like 2017, 2018, where you've got the title fight between the Ferrari and then the Mercedes powered car. That was awful on the curbs. Ferrari and the Mercedes powered car, and then you've got Red Bull with a halfway decent car picking up a couple of race wins. Yeah. And in terms of who's actually going to be competing for the championship, I do think at least by halfway in the season, I think all 4 drivers of McLaren and Ferrari are going to be in active competition. It's not like, obviously halfway a lot of people would be still in mathematical But like realistically, I think all 4 could win by halfway in the season. This should be towards the end of my stint.
Valtteri is currently in P2.
Yeah, I did see that. Good on you, Valtteri.
Say again.
I literally...
Say that again, we're having trouble receiving.
Okay, I pressed the button. That's why the race engineer is not that great in this game. Three tenths. That's pretty good. And that's 3 tenths to my option time. On tyres, which should be a second slower. But obviously 3 tenths each sector.
5 kilos of fuel remaining now, about 5 kilos of fuel.
3 tenths each sector. 3.5 tenths each sector does make a second. I think it's hard to lose that much time in the last sector. It's easy in that sector, I guess. But yeah, this last sector is 2 corners and 1.5 straights. It's hard to lose that much time. Apart from doing that.
In sectors 1 and 2.
Well, you can see Alonso locked up. But I am catching, so I am on these tyres faster than Alonso. Can that be shown? Like, no, I don't give a car's width, but then they are ahead. They are ahead on the curb, and I'm clearly steering to the right. I'm clearly steering to the right. But just... What was this? Yeah. And you're to the left, left. And then you're straight, and there's this point of impact. This is, but you're steering to the left. So it's really just the curb. It is just the curb, okay.
Race over. The steward.
What? I was accidentally in reverse. That's crazy. That's insane. It is 12. I've done... I guess I've done... What is that? Am I still first? Oh, I've got no front wing. I was disqualified. What was I? I was 34. I would have been third. I was actually pretty close to both of them. Disqualified, but if I look at the race director, incidents, wrong way. I reversed a little bit too much. What are you talking about? What was my fastest time? 34.1. So yeah, I would have been third. I would have been 0.2 off of second. Well, this would be a very disappointing way to end the stream. So, I'm thinking...
Bahrain, where the
is that wet?
Circus has rolled into town. We're expecting the cars to appear out on track shortly.
Just wait a second. I want to see if this is wet, because that looks wet. No, just overcast. Okay. I'm going to do 2 time trial laps to make up for the laps I lost. Because that's the thing, I did just lose them. Bahrain. In a Williams. Display my ghost. No. Yeah, we want dry. Because I was just reversing. I accidentally reversed a little bit too much. Like, what is that? Let's just go back to the setup I had on, which was... I don't think that's good enough to actually save it though. It's not entirely sure. But let's do maybe 2 time trial laps. See if I can get better. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. You could see that session option, yeah. You could see that that was no better final corner. And let's go. Let's try my hardest. This is why I don't want to do time trial though, because it doesn't have the interactions with other cars. Yeah, invalid, that makes sense. But if I keep going, I'm going to get something to set a baseline to. That's still braking a bit too late. The thing is, do I want to go rear downforce? Not rear downforce, no. Rear brake bias. No, I want to go forward brake bias, don't I? Theoretically, I should be able to go through this corner without lifting. Nope. That did not work as I had thought. First lap 34.8. I can beat that. I don't have my other, like I don't have my ghost on, so I can't actually see if I am currently beating it, which is kind of dumb that I don't have a delta. I know Williams had this thing. But even if I had a screen, it wouldn't show a delta. Like a live delta. A live delta. So obviously I'd like to set an actual time lap. However, if it gets to that point where I'm invalidating and I can't set a good time lap, I'm just going to call it there. That's 3/10 down? Why? It's worse there than... What's worse there than was in the lap before? That was a pretty good final corner. Get a good run for the straight. Yeah. So I do plan on... I know I've talked a lot about Five Nights at Freddy's yesterday and today. I really enjoy the franchise. I've been part of it since 2015. I do plan on playing them on stream because I've not actually really played them at all. Okay, that was somehow faster. I've not really played them at all, so I'm going to be playing them on stream at some point. That's going to be, I don't know if I'm going to be adding more streaming days, or that's me, once I'm finished Pokemon and Sonic, because I'm assuming I'm going to be finished Pokemon and Sonic before I'm finished, before I'm up to date on Comprehensive Career Mode. Because the thing is, once I get to up to date on Comprehensive Career Mode, yeah, that was... I saw the 3.5 turns down and I just decided to can that lap. Once I've been up to date with Comprehensive Career Mode, like I've come up to the modern year, depending on what time of year it is, I'm just going to be taking my time throughout the year. Because I then have to pace myself until the next game comes out. Also, starting my career mode in 2014 does put me more experience than Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz are about to find funny. It does technically put me as experienced as Daniel Kvyat, but we don't really care about Kvyat. It doesn't technically put me as, as experienced as Magnussen, because Magnussen takes the year off in 2015. His is a McLaren. Still, he's a McLaren third driver, because obviously, you know, Fernando Alonso comes into McLaren and you'd take Fernando Alonso over Kevin Magnussen. Like, you know, why wouldn't you? It's faster. That's the exact same time. And that's on the curb. Shouldn't be on the curb. Am I going to do 10 laps? I don't really feel like doing 10 laps. I'm going to do a couple more. What am I doing with DRS? Now go. No, I don't lose that time. It's certainly going to be slower. No, it's not. So if I do DRS the entire time and do a good set of S's, I gain a bunch of time, which is good. Do 2 more laps. 34.8. There's 34s. And that was a really slow turn on. Apex speed was probably like 80 kilometers an hour. Which I say is really slow. It's faster than the school zone here. Yeah, I lost a 10th. Don't go off the track. It's better if I go wide than off the track. Wide, but still on off the track. You know what I mean. What was that? That was barely off the track. That was like my left tyres were touching the line. Maybe I will go to 10. See if I can get into the 33s. I still felt slow. But I don't want to go faster because I might lose grip. Yeah, my goal is to get into the 33s. Even if it's 33 knots. Feels like a better lap. It might look like a better lap. It feels like a better lap. I was worried when I got the lock up, but it feels good. We'll see at the end of sector 2. Yes. 4.5 tenths up, 5 tenths up. We're just going to do this last corner. Oh, I was so worried I was going to invalidate there. 34.3. I need 3.11 tenths. I think it's 311 milliseconds to get to the 39s. I'll do one lap after this. So close to 10. Right, I'll do 10 laps. If by lap 10 it's meant to be, then that's unfortunate, really. like you to. I was not caught on that curb. I just chose not to turn. Also. Alright, some final things to talk about. So the Australian federal election. Like, I don't really want to talk about politics on this because politics is very divisive, and I have my opinions. I'm very interested in politics, and I have my opinions. And I just don't want to get into it on Twitch. There's a toggle that you can flip if you're going to talk about politics too much. I'm not going to. But the Australian federal election is this year. This year, the way Australia works is it has to be held. So our last one was in mid-May in 2022. So the Prime Minister has to call the next election in under 3 years. It can be any point in that time. It just has to be under 3 years from the last election. And it has to be on a Saturday because of reasons. And we go and the voting places are public schools and that kind of thing because, they're government run. And, it's quirky and it's Australia. My sister has recently moved out, which is also another reason why I started streaming when I have, because she's just moved out and I'm not going to be disturbing her, she's not going to be disturbing me. She doesn't know what she's enrolled to vote because voting is compulsory in Australia. She's enrolled to vote, but she's enrolled to vote here where I am at home, not where she's currently living, which is very funny. And she's relying on me to update her on politics, like to tell her that was not a good turn to tell her who to vote for, which that's, I believe, going a bit too far. I'm not going to tell her who to vote for, like that's just absurd. But I am going to give her information on what party has what policy, because I don't know how many of my viewers are going to end up being American, because obviously British viewers, you're going to understand. Anyone European, you're going to understand having multiple parties. And American, it's not like having Greens and Libertarians. Like a vote for the minor party is not throwing away your vote because of our voting system, and we have not gotten we've just not gotten a 33. Yeah, just because the way our voting system works, it's preferential voting. So if your vote doesn't go to the lower party, just the smaller party doesn't get anywhere close, then it gets given to one of the larger parties. Like that's just that's preferencing, and that's how our system works, and it's great, to be honest. And then there's the Senate, which is a whole different can of worms. The Senate form is like a meter long, and it's just a meter long, which is insane. But yeah, we're waiting for Albo to call an election because it's not going to be April-ish, because the start of April is a Western Australia state election, and the end of April is Easter, so it might be mid-April. But then also, if it's called in late May, he's going to have to hand down a budget for the year, and that's not something he's going to want to do when sitting. So he's got quite the dilemma. Let's look at the leaderboard before we go quickly. 107. That's obviously not today. But I gotta find me. That's obviously on the 23rd. Which again, might I add, no assists. So that's the exact same time as 106, but 106 has assists. So I'm saying maybe I'm better. and 1/10 away from you, so maybe I should be up to, who knows. Modesty aside, let's find where, what was it? It was 130, 134.3. So it's going to be down there, obviously, because if you're setting a fast time, you're going to be wanting to use a Mercedes. Yeah, all of these Mercedes. But just look at these, 2015, 2016, and then me in 2025, 336 in 2022, 339 in 2024, even 342 in 2018. Like, it's just crazy. No. So the time I set would be all the way down. It's probably about going to be like 500, which is... no, that's just the start of the 33s. No, that's still 33s. Is it going to be 700s? It's still 33s. Oh. Yeah, my lap time was kind of slow, to be honest. Still 33s. Let's check 1,000. I'd be happy if that lap time was under 1,000. And no, it was not. I have not set a lap time today, which was in the top 1,000. Well, I guess that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you for watching. I believe 1-2 people tuned in throughout the couple of streams today. Thank you for tuning in. There was that bot that I had to ban because they were advertising something else, and I don't want that. So yeah, thank you for tuning in on the VOD. Please subscribe because it helps. It then pushes those VODs to other people who are then going to find the YouTube and the Twitch, and probably at the time of release of this VOD, there's not going to be anything on the YouTube, but I am currently working on it. I've got the script, I'm starting on thinking about what the animation's going to be and all that stuff. And that's going to come out maybe mid-March-ish. Yeah. Thanks, and now I guess I'm going to raid someone with 0 viewers. That's not F1 2015. So I'm just looking at similar or smaller size. There's not many smaller. Certainly not anyone that I'm following. But there's a F1 2015, which has been going for almost 4 hours. But the thumbnail, that's not F1 2015. That's like 2019, 2020, because it's a classic car. Let's just go following. Sure. Okay. CJ Yar's doing Satisfactory. No, he's not doing Satisfactory. He's doing Pokemon Emerald. He's doing a Twitch Plays Pokemon and is doing a subathon. So I'm just gonna raid him. Unable to raid CJR at this time. That's great. Alright, how about you? This raid looks like it's going well. Okay, goodbye.